So the dog's head was almost completely detached from its body. The car had just gone right through it. I mean, there's nothing anyone could really do at that point. And so this girl is sitting there bawling and looking at me, wanting me to console her, the little brat. And so I told her really the one thing I'm qualified to tell her. I tell her that her dog's death is God's will. I mean, everything is God's will. But she just kept crying. It's really faith is what I'm talking about here, right? So you got to have faith, and you can't let anything shake your faith. I mean, if the death of a dog is going to make you question God, are you really, I mean, are you a God? What was your question?
What are your thoughts on the Church of Free Will?
The Church of what?
I heard they do some real fucked up shit there.
Like what?
Like twisted, fucked up shit. Cult shit, you know. Like ceremonies, voodoo, you name it.
Repeat after me. I am here on my own free will.
I'm here on my own free will.
Again.
I'm here on my own free will.
Louder.
I'm here on my own free will.
Make me believe you.
I'm here on my own free will.
Again.
I'm here on my own free will.
Again.
I am here on my own free will.
Yeah! Good job!
Yeah, I'm not really sure what it's all about, to be honest. Half the time I swear he might be speaking another language the way he goes on and on. But I like to listen. I think my brain is soaking it all in. Or at least I hope it is, otherwise I'd be wasting a heck of a lot of my time.
I was going to church, Christian church that is, every week, without fail. I had a good job, good girlfriend. Everything seemed perfect. But I felt like one of those dinghies you see, you know, out there bobbing in the water. Never fully going under, but never achieving full stability. You know, I wanted that stability. I wanted control over my life. Well, then I met Malcolm, and he introduced me to the Church of Free Will. Left my job, left my girlfriend, committed to the church full time. I can honestly say I've never been happier.
Don't get me wrong, I love the church. Like, totally. I got all my friends, to join. It's a fun time. But I wish I understood it is all.
The Church of Free Will is an inclusive, reason-based organization, an alternative to the so-called faith-based religions. We encourage our members to take charge of their lives, take responsibility for their actions, and understand the power of free will. We denounce destiny, or any divine plan. We are not a cult. I want to make that explicitly clear, and I do every time I talk about this, because everybody seems to think we're a cult. We are not a cult.
Yeah, I do recollect. One night we were out drinking, smoking a bit too, and he says to me, "Ray, I want to start a cult." He said, "You didn't even have to try that hard. Just make up random shit. People buy anything. And I said, what the fuck are you talking about? And he says, I think I can do it. I think I could start a cult. And I said, you're drunk. Probably a bit high too. I know I was. Oh. And, but he said, no, I'm not joking. I think I could. And he did. Crazy some bitch.
Traditional religion is a sickness that aims to eliminate our uniqueness. It convinces people that their life isn't their own, and that their choices don't matter in the wake of a divine plan. Religion diminishes us to simple pawns in a grand chess game, whose end we'll never see. It subserviates us, domesticates us, keeps us docile and unwanting, prevents us from being
So when I started this project, I had a really clear vision of what I wanted to accomplish. And I wanted to explore this subject matter that hasn't been getting nearly enough attention. I wanted to make something that had real meaning to people, that, you know, you would watch it and say, wow, I really felt something from that. And now when I'm in the editing room and I'm looking at this footage, I don't even know what this guy is saying, and it's kind of nonsense, isn't it?
When Woody hurt his back playing golf, we tried finding something less physical to hold our attentions. First we tried bingo. That wasn't really our speed.
Game was rigged.
Then we tried, let me see.
Bridge.
Bridge! That's right, bridge. We joined the bridge club for a while. And well, I can't remember why exactly we left, but we did.
I'm sort of in between houses right now. Last night I slept in the parking lot of an Arby's, which is, well...
Do you regret your choices?
Regret? No, I wouldn't say regret. I mean, Arby's is a perfectly fine establishment. Ever since I got those new fries, I think they've really been making some real progress.
I love the church. Just love it. I've been experimenting with psychedelics lately because of these really intense nightmares I've been having. Well, my therapist prescribed them. Not exactly prescribed. I don't think you can legally prescribe psychedelics, but more like strongly recommended, one girl to another. But for weeks I had just been waking up covered in sweat. I mean, my sheets were literally soaked through, and they were saddened. And all because of these nightmares I've been having. I mean, it's real gruesome shit. It's all involving this incident with my father when I was 7. He drowned in our pool, and I don't think I've ever really gotten over it. So I started taking these psychedelics and just tripping balls. They haven't really stopped the nightmares, but they've done wonders on my artistic expression. I mean, take this one. I don't really remember making it, but I think it's a self-portrait.
Eventually we found the church. Was it Janice who told us about it?
Who?
Janice, you know. She heard it from her nephew. Really nice boy, Nicky.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I think I joined the church during a trip a while back, and I kind of forgot about it for a bit. And then I started getting their e-blasts, and I just started going to meetings, and I loved it. Malcolm's also bought a lot of my paintings.
I don't like to think of myself as taking the place of God in any way. I'm simply eliminating the dependence on religion. I sort of think of my work as a rehab for those who are addicted to their faith. Religion is a drug, if you think about it, just as much as crack cocaine. Once you've sobered up, cleared your mind of the lazy, faith-based mentality, you can start your spiritual growth journey. You just have to want it. Of course, I'm here to help and facilitate your growth and enlightenment, lead you to the quote-unquote promised land, so to speak. But God? No, I'm no God. Maybe Moses.
God complex is when a person places the same amount of importance on themselves as another would in God or godlike entity. Narcissism to the nth degree. These guys are real nuts.
Hey, he ever tell you the alien story? So one night we got really high, and he swore up and down that he got kidnapped by some of them green fucks, taken up into one of them motherfucking motherships, and what you call it? Probed. Yeah. Wow, shit I ever did hear.
Aliens? I can't say I've seen any of those. I do remember when we launched Sputnik, though. That was back in 56 or maybe 57. Seemed like science fiction then to me.
Damn commies.
I was abducted by extraterrestrial beings. That is a fact. They took me aboard their ship, did experiments on me. It was painful and unpleasant. But I would be lying if I didn't admit that it also was incredibly erotic. They sat me down afterwards and shared their knowledge with me. A sort of post-torture, post-coital tradition of theirs, akin to smoking after sex. They told me, in so many words, that they had seen how my people, the people of Earth, had become slaves to religion, to their faith, and it disappointed them. They told me that they had met who we call God, and in their opinion, he really wasn't all that. I was stunned, obviously, but intrigued by the notion. If our lives weren't really dictated by God's will, then whose will were they dictated by? Not long after my encounter, after a brief stint at the mental hospital, I created the church. I don't mean to dwell on this too much, though. I mean, we're not crazy. There's much more to this church than just aliens. Much more.
We're here for the aliens. I was walking along the beach one day, we both were, when I found this conch shell. It's an alien conch left by an alien UFO, a genuine artifact from another planet. Of course, I immediately dropped everything we both did and dedicated our lives to exploring extraterrestrial life. The conch, it's the reason I'm in the church. What else is there? We can talk about free will till our faces fall off, but an alien conch, that's the real deal. Proof of life beyond us. Proof of our own insignificance.
I mean, how am I supposed to find an alien conch and not join a cult?
Right, yeah. I mean, if you listen closely, you can even hear the waves hit the shores of an exotic alien beach.
Show me your feet. Aliens are notoriously bad at replicating human toes. They've only managed 3 so far. Show me your feet.
I feel that some of our members are missing the point of the church, what we do. But only a small few.
The Church of Free Will is a money-making machine. I mean, it's incredible. These people are suckers. They're just suckers. We call them, what have you, donations? We just get their money. It's incredible. Now is the time to invest in cults. If you're smart, get in early like me. That's what you gotta do. It's fucking incredible. I, on average of every percentage, get 5.3% on every 2%, all total percentages. The thing is a fucking gold mine, I tell you. This is an incredible steak, I gotta tell you. My girlfriend tries to get me to eat healthy, go on hikes and shit. What the fuck is a hike gonna do for me? Hiking is like walking to a fucking salad. I hate salad. It stains my teeth green, you know that? Bullshit.
Now, my Aunt Gemma told me that they were putting poison in Kool-Aid and drinking it. Now, that's just what I heard. But, you know, the cops started to catch on to it. It wasn't looking very good. So they had to, this is just what I heard, but they had to switch to Gatorade. I don't really see the point of the drinking poison, let alone drinking poison Gatorade, but I mean, my Aunt Gemma wouldn't lie.
You know, I don't really get none of that cult shit. It's a little too creepy for me. Freedom aspect. Free will. To pull away from society. That I get. As a red-blooded, blue-bleeding, red, white, and blue bleeding American, I understand the appeal of freedom. That's what this country's built on. I have the free will to do whatever the fuck I want. And if you don't like that, I have the free will to kick your shit in. Bash your brains in. So, you know, I get it. I get the appeal.
Dangerous? I don't think they're dangerous. We got them on our radar, though. We're keeping an eye on them. One time we got a noise complaint out that field where they meet at. Some woman said there's a dog screaming. How a dog screams, I do not know. You can be crazy in your own home. When you start interrupting people's TV time, that's when the police get involved. You can take that to the bank.
And we have to understand that it requires demands of us. And this is a symbol of those demands that it divides.
Now?
No, dude. Fucking up my train of thought. Alright, just let me talk. We have to do this because it shows symbolically our spiritual awakening into the understanding of our own free will.
It's just, I don't know how much longer I can.
Fuck it, kill the dog!
I did once mention the possibility of doing a sacrifice symbolically, spiritually, to try to cleanse the spirit of the parasite that is faith. But I think that some of the congregation is taking that a little too literally. We've killed a lot of dogs.
I do not get turned on by living sacrifices. And I do not get sexually aroused by violence or the threat of violence or blood or the idea of blood. My interest in it is purely professional. I do think that we should maybe, I don't know, possibly think about a sacrifice larger than a dog, maybe. Like a human sacrifice. I don't know. I mean, not that I find it hot or anything. For the sake of the church. I find it gross, personally.
I think my congregation gets a bad rap. Aside from a few bad apples, a few nuts, we're good people. Our intentions are good. We're not all that bad.
Yeah, the dog sacrifices are the highlight of my week for sure. Just seeing it sure as hell beats seeing my fucking family every week.
Blasphemy. What they're doing over there, I've Googled it and I'm not a fan. A man who would start something like that must be seriously disturbed. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he's some kind of a sex freak or a pedo. You know, a lot of people say priests are the pedos, but I mean, that's just a myth.
He just creeps me out, you know? We barely ever fucked when we were together, and when we did, he would talk the entire time. I mean the entire time. On and on about fucking appreciating the beauty of the moment and experiencing physical attraction through unbiased eyes or whatever. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? What? Who talks like that? I don't know. I didn't even mind the eye patch. I actually found it kind of sexy. He just would not shut up. I left him about 2 years ago.
I haven't had sex in 2 years. Best decision I've ever made. I feel strong, virile, bursting at the seams with energy. I'm no longer giving so much of myself to another whore. I'm devoting my entire life to bettering myself and strengthening my own inner mind. Sex is a distraction. Relationships are a trap. A way to uselessly expend your life on someone other than yourself. Someone less deserving of it. The urge to have sex, to procreate, is the urge to conform. That's why I left my last relationship. It was a mutual thing. That makes sense, right? Doesn't it? I'm not losing you with that one, right?
It's not really a question. I mean, if I had to rank them, it'd be Martin Luther King Jr., Gandhi, and then Malcolm, like, way at the top. I mean, he's kind, smart. I would say maybe he's the best person to ever live. I don't know. God is like a worthless slacker compared to him. Malcolm, he's the real deal.
Excuse me, heavens.
What he's done with the church, it's revolutionary. It's never been done before. He is a genius. He's a born leader and a truly beautiful, intelligent soul.
People always like to ask me how I lost my eye. Perhaps people think I'm a pirate. Well, I am definitely not a pirate, and I'd appreciate if people stopped calling me one. My methods may be a tad unorthodox, but what I'm doing here works.
I left my entire family for the church. I haven't seen them in years. I left them in a heartbeat.
I've never asked anyone to leave their families. Don't know why they would. I never preach violence or hate. I don't really even preach at all.
Let me fucking tell you something. Freedom is integral to this country. You cannot put a price on it. It is priceless. So if they try taking my freedoms away, I will fight. I will burn this country to the fucking ground to defend my right to be free.
There was a few temples I burned down. I think there was mosques and maybe a couple Christian churches. And he never asked me to, but did he need to?
Now, supposedly, they worship Satan, like the devil, like the guy with horns, you know, that guy. I mean, and then they started chopping babies' heads off and drinking the blood. Like, I mean, that's not really my cup of tea.
Look, we're not all about conspiracies, and we're not crazy.
Politicians up at Capitol Hill and that Nancy Pelosi bitch, that green, scaly sumbitch, lizard sumbitch.
We are a religion based on reason and logic. We are the response to the crazies who blindly follow their faith.
The government is hiding so much fucking shit from us. It's not even funny. The wool is pulled so far over your eyes that motherfucker, you're a sheep. Okay?
Malcolm, I'm still a little confused about what you actually do in the church. You've said a lot of things, but not a lot of it has made sense.
It's making less and less sense as the days go by. It's ridiculous. I mean, I give a shit about his mental health, whatever you want to call it. I don't really give a shit about the guy.
We do so much. I do so much for the church. Of course I do. We,
Ever since fucking Roswell, the aliens are here to steal our eyeballs. Okay? And that's what Malcolm taught me. That it's important to protect our eyeballs from the alien invaders. Because that's what the church is really all about, you know?
You know, it's like, spiritual advancement to, find free will in yourself and, you know, your own destiny, advancing that. You know what I'm saying?
Can I have another White Claw? Please?
Sometimes I don't know if I'm awake or if I'm dreaming. Sometimes my life feels like a nightmare, and my nightmares are the only place that feel real. My father drowned when I was 7, and I didn't feel anything, except maybe mild disappointment that I have to get out of the pool. Now he haunts me in my dreams.
Do you think Malcolm would stab me if I asked him? I mean, someone important. Not for anything sexual. I'm just curious.
When it comes down to it, our church has one simple purpose. Helping people. Being kind. Encouraging others to take charge of their lives and be happy. What we do, at the end of the day, is love. Not money, or violence, or aliens. None of that. Just love.
Freedom. I will it.
This severe level of narcissism, ego feeding, mixed with, I fear, an equally severe level of stupidity, can be incredibly dangerous, especially when given an audience.
I do believe that I would die for Malcolm, if he asked. And I would do it on my own free will.
Do I like the attention? Of course. I love to be loved. Sue me. And when those aliens, had their way with me, I just felt like the prettiest girl at the ball. Out of all the humans on Earth, they chose me. They chose me! But, that's besides the point.
Sorry, did he say he was raped by aliens?
Oh, no. It was entirely consensual. Did I not make that clear?
I should have done that Netflix thing. This girl, double amputee, and she's kayaking. Would have gotten an Oscar for it. And instead I'm doing this. And I don't even know what this is. I don't think anyone's gonna care, and I don't even care about it anymore. The whole cult thing is overdone anyway.
Of course I left it. Of course I did. I'm not a fucking idiot. I left after the first meeting.
Why did you leave the church?
What, are you kidding? It's stupid, that's why. I'm a grown adult. This guy's talking about getting, ass raped by an alien or whatever. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Plus, I'm a full-on atheist or whatever.
The church is a place for growth and for healing. It's as simple as that. My goal is only to help people embrace themselves, and not an idea of themselves pushed by a book. To help them achieve fulfillment in life and a semblance of control over the world. I think everybody's on the same page with that. That's why I do what I do. It always has been. And I will never waver my principles. I've stayed absolutely true to who I am. And I'd like to believe I've really made a difference.
I can't imagine where we would be without the church. It's had such a tremendous impact on our lives.
I guess it has.
The church changed my life in ways I couldn't even explain.
Could you try and explain?
This is the Church of Scientology, right?